Okay, so what's up? I'm Justin. You're back again. That's Gerard.
I am Gerard, yes.
Turn that off. Okay, anyway. Guys, you're going to be able to hear my temperature control system throughout this episode. Okay.
Otherwise, he's going to freeze.
For real. We are back. It is Friday for us. We usually put these up on Sundays, it seems like, is going to be our day to put these up. But it's Friday when we record them, and then Gerard takes forever to do his part and put it up for Sunday. So it's the weekend.
You're lucky you're even getting it Sunday.
That's true. I'm not complaining. I'm stating. So
no, I mean the audience is lucky.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's
seriously.
the audience.
We're having fun trying to get it up once a week. And anyway, what are we talking about today? Because I don't think we really know, honestly.
We don't. This is going to be kind of
okay.
This is going to be kind of a riffy episode.
First order of business.
But, yeah.
If you live in any type of place where you get seasonal weather, the snow sucks. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. Another thing we're going to talk about, I think, is higher education, because basically the same thing as snow. In the sense that it sucks. So, first of all,
cold and uncaring.
If you like the snow, there's something wrong with your brain. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. I will also talk about the snow with you. The snow is a pain to deal with physically. Visually, it's very nice. It's very pretty to look at. You know, Christmas time, lights, all that stuff. It's very, very pretty. Yeah. But yeah, anytime you have to drive through it or shovel it or any of that, it's pretty annoying.
Something, have TV or anything practical. Yeah, it sucks.
I saw one of our friends on Facebook. Well, okay, here, let's get something straight. I saw all of our friends post on that snow on Facebook.
Yeah, I was watching yesterday. I was at the lunch table and I was looking at like Snapchat, and I looked up and I was like, I literally just looked through 22 Snapchat stories.
About
21
snow.
of them were about snow. Like, you all knew it was coming, guys. We have these weather forecasts for a reason.
Yeah. Is that all you're gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see the camel?
I did see the camel.
Yeah.
Cinnamon Wednesday.
Anyone who doesn't live in northeastern Pennsylvania, as you can imagine, there aren't that many camels around where we live. But apparently there was a guy hauling a camel on the road the other day. And it was last night or the night before?
I think it was last night, but I think it was like a significant person. It wasn't just like some random guy with a camel.
Well, yeah, obviously, you know,
I forget
most random people don't have camels.
Well, most significant people probably don't either.
He needed the camel for something, of course. But yeah, there was a camel on the side of the road, and it was snowing.
We have a snow camel.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like a cigarette brand ambassador or something.
Maybe.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, maybe they're filming a
Maybe they're warming up their
lungs. Is it Marlboro, right?
No, it's just camel.
Oh, dude, I'm such a moron. You can tell I don't. Whatever. Anyway. Okay. But yeah, there's a camel.
Okay. So end of story. There's a camel in Pennsylvania, and snow sucks.
Yeah.
So
But going back to my friend before, or our friend, you know her too, but I won't say the name just for, because, whatever. But anyway.
I don't believe in full disclosure.
Yeah. Only disclosing to you a little bit. But anyway, she posted on Facebook that, I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, the only reason that snow happens in November is because people decorate prematurely for Christmas. You remember? Yeah, you saw it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. And the other reason snow happens in November is because snow happens all the time here, as long as it's not July. All these people getting excited about the first snowfall. of the year are really pissing me off because they're acting like we haven't had one in forever. It's been like maybe 5 months. Like I'm pretty sure we probably got, well, maybe not June. Okay, 6 months since we have snow. Like we have snow for legit half the year around here. And people act like only in December and January.
At least the opportunity to have it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically. And
yeah,
it's awful. We both just got done shoveling snow, and it sucks.
Mhm.
And don't encourage the snow.
But hey, if you got to do it, you got to do it. But it's not fun.
It's okay. That's why Gerard goes to school in Florida.
That's not why, but
speaking of school, that's exactly why. He won't admit it. That's why.
It was just because
we are talking about school today and thoughts and opinions on school. Now, if you listened, which we actually don't have a video for that one, but if you listened to our audio only episode 0 podcast titled Our Origin Stories, or just Origin Stories, you already know this, but let's give them a little bit background pertaining specifically to our school situations right now. Go.
So how we both went from high school to college, pretty much?
Yes, basically.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right, yeah. Well, Justin and I went to school together, good friends in high school. We both graduated in 2016. And then after 2016, you know, all the kids know immediately what college they're going to. They're like, I spent this entire year deciding my future. I'm going to go to this college over here. After taking like 10 visits to all the colleges around.
Oh, yes.
By the way, that's not a bad thing. If you actually like doing that, then power to you.
Oh, yes, if you're a sophomore in high school visiting schools, that's... I'm not even going to say it's a good thing, so I don't think it is, depending on who you are and what you do.
You could do it if you want, but it's just not our bag.
That's what everything comes down to.
Yeah.
You can do it if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's making you. Okay, go ahead.
All right, okay. But needless to say, I wasn't one of those people. I visited maybe like 1 or 2 colleges, and half the time that was like with someone else who was actually visiting. And I just like tagged along.
And you didn't go to any of the schools you visited.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Yeah. Okay. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do art, but I didn't want to do like fine art. Let's paint a chair over here and like paint a bowl of fruit and things like that. Yeah. Because that's for the most part, that's what colleges around here offer when it comes to art stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted something kind of cooler than that. If you can't tell already, I like fun, goofy things, hence my orange microphone that's not actually a microphone. So I looked around and took a complete year off, and
the whole year.
Most college happy people are like, how dare you do that? You can't take a year off. What if you're lazy and you never go back again?
Do people actually say that? Oh, yes. Yes, I didn't even think about that argument, but that does happen to a lot of people too.
I mean, let's be honest. Some people are lazy, and
they don't have the discipline.
We both have points of being lazy. Everyone has points of being lazy, but
stop it.
Yeah, that's right. But I was self-aware enough. There we go. I was self-aware enough to understand that I still valued learning, and I still knew that I wanted some formal education, because if I wanted to educate myself, I knew I probably wouldn't do it very well. Right. So I looked around, I took a year off, I drew some pictures, whatever. So ultimately I decided to pick a college in a different state that is not the normal college, and I'll explain that in a little bit.
It's Full Sail. Some of you probably know what Full Sail University is. Yeah. It's popular.
Yeah, it's Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida, which is a little bit out of Orlando. And I did not want to go to Florida. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to somewhere far away by myself. It sounds horrible. But
you did.
So I did. And the reason for that was because I wanted to change myself as a person. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm too comfortable where I'm at, and I'm not growing as a strong, like, confident person.
Right.
Like I'm a weenie kind
Not
of.
adulting yet.
I'm not adulting. I'm like, you know what? I should probably start adulting a little bit. So I'm like, it would probably do me good for my character to learn how to live on my own for a little bit and learn how to just dive right into the chaos. Just,
Yes.
you know.
Just,
So I went to Winter Park, Florida to go to Full Sail. And I'm studying game art there, which is just making video game characters and objects and things like that. The art that goes inside your favorite video games is what I'm learning to do.
Fortnite.
Should I go into how like the college is set up differently, or I might as well?
No, okay. Let's get through the stories first, and then
I'll go to you.
we can talk
Let's
more
go to
about
you,
it. Okay.
and then we'll jump back and forth.
So, Gerard took a gap year. I kind of took a gap year on accident. Let me explain that. So, I'm the same as him in the sense that I didn't start looking for colleges my like freshman year of high school. I didn't look at a ton of colleges. I didn't go everywhere. I looked at 2 schools. Mansfield University, Marywood University. Both those schools I picked because I wanted to be a music education major, and they were pretty much the options. So I went, I visited them, I did all that. I like diehard was ready to go to Mansfield. I wanted to go to Mansfield. That was all I wanted to do. So I went to Marywood. And then I found out that the school that I decided I didn't like less was actually the school I didn't like. Wait, let me try that again.
Okay.
The school that I didn't like as much was actually the school that I didn't like as much. I hated it. I went through all this. I had an episode. I just a month into my first year, my freshman year in school, I was like, no.
Out of here. Bye.
I blew
Bye,
that
Felicia,
popsicle.
or whatever it is.
No longer a music education major. Still in my dorm room at Marywood. So pretty cool school. Pretty good music program too, by the way. I'm not gonna like talk shit on the music program. Just wasn't for me. And I wasn't going anywhere with it. And it's a little bit friggin' expensive for that kind of a job, which is more so probably what we're gonna get into when we get into the nitty-gritty of this. So now I'm here.
Oh, like you're talking about how like expensive learning a certain skill versus how much money you get when you get a job in that skill.
Input, output.
Yeah.
Yes. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that at least as we get going here. But now I'm back. I'm like accounting major, finance major. I'm somewhere between being one, being the other, or being both. I really don't even have that figured out at this point. I'm about
You're multi-skilled.
I'm not sure, but
it just sounds good.
Yeah, let's do that. And I'm back. I did take that year off, like the remainder of the 2016-17 school year. Then I came back as a business major, complete 180. Everybody was like, "Well, you're in music, and now you're in business. Why do you think that's gonna work?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, like creative, not creative. What? Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like everybody was like, "How do you know you're gonna like accounting?" And I was like, "I don't."
Yeah.
but
that's a lot of kids. Like if you don't mind me jumping in for a second, a lot of kids like in high school, they're like, I'm gonna be a biomarine engineer. Like I'm gonna work with putting like robotic fins on dolphins. I'm like, how do you know that you're gonna like doing that? Like, but not a lot of us know. Like even older people like still don't actually know what they want to do.
Not even a lot of us know. Like if you're watching this and you're like in high school, first of all, I don't know why you're watching this, but kudos, like you're watching this. But like if you think you're like, oh, I'm gonna be this, like, okay,
maybe not.
I've got some news for you. You don't know what's gonna be happening tomorrow.
Yeah, news for you. Yeah, life is a bumpy road in general. You're not gonna absolutely guaranteed hold the same job your entire life. You might, but might not.
Nothing is guaranteed. You know that. I know it's all cliche shit. I know when I was in high school, and every adult in the world was saying, "Oh, the real world's gonna kick your ass," and "Oh, you know, life doesn't work out as planned. I was like, I know, I got it. You keep telling me that isn't going to help me, deal with it. And it's true. Me telling you this right now isn't going to help you fix it. That's in your hands to fix it.
Yes.
But yeah, so there's that. But anyway, so music business, that I'm in school now. Come next semester, I might not be.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So because I've gotten really into entrepreneurship, starting my own business, putting out content, etc., etc. So that, I think, just about wraps up my end of the story. So do you have anything more you want to say about Full Sail? Why'd you go there?
Oh,
why did you finally decide, hey, Full Sail?
Okay, well, my program is accelerated. If it was going to be 4 years for a bachelor's degree in a place I didn't like, I wouldn't have done it.
Is that to imply that you don't like Full Sail?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
No, I like my school a lot. I really do. Obviously there are one or two things that I would fix, but not every school is going to be 100% magical across the board. But for the most part, I really like my school. I just don't want to spend 4 years doing this, like learning
doing
and
the
stuff.
School part.
Yeah, doing the school part 4 years just seems like a little too much for me, but in general, but whatever. So my school, I get a bachelor's degree in 20 months as opposed to 4 years, but that's also 20 months straight through. Like most people take a summer vacation. I didn't take a summer vacation this year. I was in Florida doing my work still. But as a trade-off, that's only one summer vacation I got to give up. Then I have, the rest of my life to have summer vacations, whatever. Like, so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm like, I still have like half a year to go, roughly. And then in half a year, I will graduate with a bachelor's degree like all the other graduates of bachelor's. I don't know.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, like everybody else.
Yeah, seriously, like everybody else. That reminds me. I wanted to talk about something at some point during this podcast, so I'm going to do it now, called the
inflation.
Academic inflation, yes.
There we go. Okay.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Well, I said academic, but inflation's the key word.
Yeah, I didn't even... I don't have the right term, but that's okay.
There is a serious academic inflation that I think is one of the driving forces as to why I hate people still urging me to stay in school, because a lot of people don't really understand how inflation works in general. And honestly, I'm about to try to define it in my opinion. But it basically means...
That's all right, we'll try.
Means thing is losing its value. That's the simple way to put it. So academic inflation means that your college degree that you have or are going to get is not as valuable as it was X amount of years ago.
And that's where the inflate part comes in, because it's usually due to an excess of those things. So it's inflating.
Inflating.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's pretty cool. But yes. So that's I think that's one of the biggest problems people are running into now with the decision, do I go to college, do I not go to college, is that, at least for us, I'm going to take us for example, because we're the same age and our parents are also around the same age as each other.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I think there's a big problem now with that, because we are in like the most extraordinary gap between generations. So, like, to them, getting a college degree was super worth it, because that was the time. Well, no, because it wasn't what you did, but because that's how you got it.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
It was actually worth something back then. And employers actually like gave a shit if you had a college degree. When people now that I know at Marywood that are up in the corner studying photography, nobody cares.
Oh, if you have a degree next year, your photography title, yeah. Yes. Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
And there are certain jobs that just don't require degrees, but you can get degrees in them anyway.
And there's certain ones that still do. Definitely.
Yes. Well, here's what it's going to come down to, if you ask me. It's going to come down to doctors, lawyers, and STEM. Science, technology, engineering, math.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to, if you're into any of those three things, go to college. You're the only people I'm going to tell go to school, because you cannot be an engineer without a degree. You cannot, do the science, all that good stuff.
You can't operate on a heart without a piece of paper saying I can operate on a heart.
Yes, precisely. You're probably not going to do too well as a lawyer without a law degree. So
yeah,
there's all that. So if you want to do one of those things, go to school. Another thing I want to say, if you want a job, which I'm going to dig deeper into that, but if you want a job, that's what school is for nowadays, is if you want some specific job. And I think too many kids in high school think, like, the way their brains think about it is, okay, I finished high school, I have to pick the degree I want, and then I have to pick the job I want. And that's backwards. It should be, I finished high school, now I have to pick the job I want, and then create the path to get there. Because that's how it works in the long run. Because one, your mind's probably going to change. It does for almost everybody. You have to weigh your options with what you can afford, with what you can handle, stuff like that. If you got like straight D's in high school, college might not be your thing.
Yeah, maybe not.
To break it to you. But and you could be plenty successful without a college degree. I know so many people without college.
You can be plenty successful with getting D's, like.
Yeah, you can be.
Yeah.
All the time. That's gonna be my entrepreneurship spiel. But I don't think it's important. There are certain degrees I don't think are necessary to get. I don't want to dig too much into like the artsy degrees, because that's what Gerard is. But yeah, I mean, music, I support you if you want to do it. Like, I strongly believe to do what you're passionate about. I strongly believe that. So if you diehard want to be a music teacher, I will not go to the music education majors and say, like, you're never going to get a job as a music teacher. I'm going to go to them and tell them that they have to do whatever they can to be the best damn music teacher that they can be and actually get a job. But if they think they could achieve it, they could achieve it, regardless of how many schools cut music programs or how far down salaries dwindle and all that kind of stuff. I'm not just going to be like, oh, no, there are no jobs out there. There definitely are. You're just going to have to, adapt to go and find them. You're going to have to maybe move. You're going to have to teach whatever grades you can find. You can't really be picky about it with that degree.
Mm-hmm.
Some degrees, okay, so that's an example of a degree I think is like just really not the best one to go for unless you are diehard set on doing that thing. Some degrees are even worse, on the other hand, in the sense that I think that they're just unnecessary degrees. Okay, they're pushing you towards jobs that you can get without the degree. And the biggest example.
Can I jump in there really quick?
Yeah.
My degree, for example, you do not need a game arts degree. It's not even like a straight up. I mean, it's a real degree, but you don't hear that degree name very often. But you don't need a game art degree to be a game artist. If your stuff is good, it's good. The art speaks for itself. Yeah, that, I don't know. I guess that means good. But the art speaks for itself. If it's quality enough and people like your stuff, they'll hire you.
Exactly.
And funny enough, I didn't go for the degree, and I didn't go for... Wait, what else did you talk about? I'm forgetting already.
What else did I talk about?
You said for the degree. Oh, and to get a certain kind of job. I didn't go for either of those. I don't want a certain kind of job in the game industry, how my school does it, and I kind of I'm not big on this that they do, but that's okay. This is what they got to do. This is what most people like to do. So this is what they push, and I understand that. It's just not how my brain works. At my school, they push you to work on your art and make sure it looks good, and that it kind of points to a certain company that you want to apply to. And then when you apply to the company, you get your job. Congrats, fantastic, yay, you got the job. You're at your favorite company. Now you can make your favorite game that you've played since you were younger.
Right.
But that's not necessarily putting the focus on the individuality of what the artist likes. It's putting the focus on pandering to the company. And in some cases, you got to do that. Like in most people's cases, you have to do that if you want to get the job at that company. Me, I like focusing more on what I like to do than what someone else has already done that they like to do. So I didn't go for the degree, although the degree is nice, and I didn't go for the job. I went for the skill because I wanted a course that would challenge me, that would really, really make me grow in skill level over my time there, and I'd feel like I'd definitely get something out of it. And I have so far. I feel like I've really gotten something out of it. But go ahead with what you were going to say.
Okay, so I forgot what I was going to say, but you bring up a couple of good points there, and I'm going to, you kind of reiterated one of my points of, if you really want a specific job, you go for it. Yeah. And that's one of the points I want to drive home, is because you were saying, like, I guess if I'm interpreting what you're saying right, is that like if you wanted to work for Blizzard, like specifically wanted to work for Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard, you want to be like Overwatch or whatever.
You could like tailor your work so it's more like what Blizzard does.
Yeah, to look like their stuff.
So like that pretty much is my point. Like if you're an aspiring artist and your dream job, I think Dave actually does want to work for Blizzard, doesn't he?
I don't know if he wants to work for Blizzard. He's always okay. In high school, he was always like Disney Pixar guy. So that's kind of how I still think of him. But I haven't talked to him in a long time. He might want to do Blizzard. You might be right.
But anyway, if you're a kid, like you're like, I want to work for Blizzard, then do that. You know, the thing is, Gerard doesn't want to work for Blizzard. That's not his plan. Gerard wants to work for himself. I kind of want to
do my own stuff. Yeah. So maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't.
Okay. Like if I was sitting here like, oh, I want to be an accountant for some Fortune 500 company, I wouldn't also simultaneously be saying like, oh, maybe I won't be in school next semester. Like, no, I want to start my own businesses though, and I don't need to be here in order to do that. Okay, what I was going to bring up when Gerard, I don't want to say interrupted because it's not interrupting, but when he went on his spiel was two of the biggest business degrees specifically that I'm not a fan of people getting is marketing, which is like, I'm okay with that one, and entrepreneurship. I think it's just an absolute joke of a degree. Because
I've never had any of those classes, so I can't speak to it. But you go ahead.
Right. Yeah, well, I've never had any of those classes either because I didn't want to waste my time.
But you still like talk to people and stuff. You
still learn stuff. I mean, if you go to college, that was another thing you started to touch on that I was going to say. The main reason I'm going to college right now is just because I want to. I like learning. I like the classes. I do well. All that kind of thing. Like it is an option. You know, it's just like anything else.
If you're in the financial position to, and it's good, might as well. You know, like there are reasons for everybody.
If you want to
think it through.
Right. You know, so it's like if you want to go to school, go to school. It's just like if you want to sign up to skydive or something, you just go, you pay the money, you do it. It's just like anything else.
Yeah.
Don't feel pressured that you have to. Don't feel pressured that you don't have to. Decide what you want to do and do that. So getting back, marketing and entrepreneurship, here's why I think those are two jokes of degrees. So many people can get really good marketing jobs. I know people that have really good jobs in marketing that don't have a degree because you're probably better off going and getting a sales job and, you know, even though it has a negative connotation to it anymore, working your way up the corporate ladder.
That's what my degree wants you to do too.
If you want,
they want you to work your way up the ladder.
Exactly. So if you want to do that, then go and do that. If you want to be a marketer for a big company, apply for a job with big company. That's how that works. Okay. And entrepreneurship, I don't even think I could go off on enough of a tangent about that. Getting a degree in entrepreneurship, I just think is an oxymoron. Because it's like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, which means I want to start my own businesses. So like I'm going to go to school for 4 years and waste my time having other people tell me how to be an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, tonight, start an effing business. Like, just do it. Okay, that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm not getting my degree in entrepreneurship or marketing. Technically, I'm starting my own online marketing company. I'm sitting here bitching about degrees in marketing and entrepreneurship, and that's what I do. I'm just getting a degree in finance because finance is going to teach me things that A, might actually get me a job in the future if I need it, and B, like, it'll help me, and it's knowledge that...
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's a good point you make. Like, finance, like, you go into it not knowing anything about money, you come out of it knowing about money, and that's good to know about. It's good to be financially responsible. You're right.
It is. So I can be my own financial advisor. Because another thing is too is like I'm like in the middle of that switch from accounting to finance, like I've been saying, and it's so funny because a lot of the accounting majors are like looking at me and just kind of like making fun of me, or like, oh, your
are they?
jobs are going to be all automated by the time we get out of school, or like, oh, there's not as much as a need for as accountants. I'm like, I'm not getting it to be a financial advisor.
Not gonna be, yeah.
I'm getting it to be my own financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting it because I
You're
don't want to be
investing
an
in
accountant.
yourself. Yeah.
So I'm not going to get an accounting degree if I don't want to be an accountant. Finance is just like a more general major, and but like, yes. So that's my spiel. I'm sorry if you are watching this and you're an entrepreneur major. I'm not going to change my mind. I think it's a really stupid idea, and I think you should go start a business. And
but on the flip side, if you think it's working for you, then fantastic.
I think it's working. Yeah, if you think you're learning a ton
all right.
from it, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to bring up another proposition here. How do you think technology and the internet is affecting and or going to affect college degrees over time? Because that's another big reason I more and more against college every day.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's actually, I mean, it's affecting everybody. So people with degrees, people without degrees, but people, and I'll get to that. People with degrees, how it's going to affect them. Well, if you need, like, say, Fiverr, you introduced me to Fiverr. Fiverr, for those who don't know, you pay somebody for outsourcing, like, say, in my example, or in Justin's example. Okay, never mind. Justin needs a picture done. I'm on Fiverr. He's like, hey, here's $5. Could you draw me a picture? I'm like, yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah. Justin has no clue if I have a degree or not.
Right.
No clue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was listening to a podcast the other day. Surprise, surprise. And someone brought up a really good point. And I want to try this with you. It might not work, but you know Mark Cuban, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, does he have a college degree?
I don't know. Does he? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I do know, but I'm going to pretend I don't know because it'll make this a stronger point. So you don't know if Mark Cuban has a college degree, right?
That's right.
So here's the point. Do you care?
No.
Do you care?
I mean, I don't, but
does that like diminish who he is?
No, he's very smart, very successful.
Exactly. Okay, so my point being, in case you didn't pick it up in that, is that nobody cares if you have a college degree, if you're doing well.
Yeah, if you can prove that you're getting somewhere or trying to get somewhere, and that's good. That's what you need.
Right. Exactly. By the way, Mark Cuban does have college degrees, but
I figured this.
And I mean, about half of them on Shark Tank don't, and most of the ones I listen to on podcasts and stuff don't, and some of them are just like so anti-college it starts to piss me off. But it's
it starts to get the anti-college person mad.
I don't think you should be telling anyone. I don't think society should be telling anyone go to college. Society should also not be telling anyone don't go to college.
Yeah.
They should just be like,
figure it out.
Here you go. This is an option, just like everything else in the world.
Yeah.
Do it or don't do it.
And I'm sure in high school over the years you heard this many times. Family members, parents of your friends always asking, so where are you going to college? What are you going to do? Like, where are you going to college? Like, you hear that a bunch of times, but that's just because our society is so accustomed to that.
People into thinking that you have to.
And when you take a step back from it, you understand that they just want to see you succeed. They want to see you do well. It's not a negative thing, but it still shows where the culture's mind is at.
Yes.
And that, like we were talking about this whole show,
that
doesn't always need to be the case.
The perceived value of college has just gone like, and the price of college has just gone like, and the actual value of college has just been like, so like, it's a weird system that we're getting ourselves into. Okay, a college degree was much more valuable back in the day, back in like the 80s, let's say. A college degree was much cheaper back then, And it's like, as the price has gone up, the actual value of a degree has gone down. There's not a good reason to get one anymore unless you're doctor, lawyer, STEM.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me and you are both not in, we're
Those
not doctors,
fields.
lawyers, or STEMs, and
But here we are, both in college.
but we're both in college. Both
But that's
because
for
we
our
want
that's
to.
for our own reasons. Yeah.
Yes,
They're
because
totally separate from the
and
fold.
I'm still debating it. You're almost done at it. How expensive is Full Sail? Is it like an expensive school or like a middle?
No, my whole degree tuition wise is the same as as most universities, which is, like what, 80,000, right? That's what mine is.
Over the course of
Over the course
years,
of 4 years, yeah,
probably,
80,000,
something
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what mine is for the full thing, which is, the average, kind of.
Right. And just going off on another note here, whether or not you have money is something you should take into consideration when you're trying to decide if you can go to college. Because if you can,
that's right.
I have my rich buddies here that aren't going into any debt because they just have money out the freaking wazoo and
they have money or
paying out of pocket.
Yeah.
But if you can do that, that's actually the best way to go, is to not take on debt. But I'm not doing that for sure. I have more than enough debt. But yes. Okay. So I don't know what other.
But okay. A weird argument for that. Maybe it is okay to take on a little bit because that'll light the fire under your rear to get it paid off, and that'll get you working.
Go to community college.
In like a weird way.
Go to community college. If that's what you need, go to a school that's not $33,000 a year. Go to a school that's $8,000 a year, $2,000 a year. Like,
out there,
there are cheap schools out there. There's no reason you have to go to Holy Saint Jesus Catholic School or go to
Saint Jesus.
Go to Penn State. But just go to your community college. Get the qualify. If you're doing it to be qualified for something, you can get qualified anywhere.
If you're looking for skills,
honestly,
I'm taking this for a lot for skills. But you could also look online for classes. They're probably a lot cheaper, and you get skills out of it. So
yes,
there are lots of different ways you can find what you need. You just got to take time to figure it out.
You can learn you some information online. But yeah, like, don't act like you don't have options, because I know there are those kids.
More opportunity than ever. It doesn't feel like it.
Like, I've got to go to an Ivy League school to be a lawyer and yada yada yada. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, find something you actually want to do. If you don't want to do what you're doing, if both your parents are doctors and you're like, oh hey, guess what I'm gonna be? Surprise. I hate medicine. But if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where I'm going with this.
I don't know, but
find out what you want to do.
But some people, for real, when they tell me their degree, I can't see them in that degree. But that's totally different. I mean, that's kind of a different conversation, but whatever. Like when they say, like, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm like, I can't see who's a doctor, but all right, like whatever. Prove me wrong. Fine, great.
Let's bring Dave up again. Like, if anyone in our class was capable of being a doctor, lawyer, like smart enough, it was Dave.
And he went in the totally opposite direction. He's like, nah, I'm gonna do some creative over here.
Salutatorian of our class, getting his degree in computer animation because it's what he loves to do. So, like, go Dave. We should have him on here sometime.
And his stuff looks great.
Dave, we're gonna find out if you're watching this. Better be supportive.
You probably aren't, but you're gonna soon.
Probably not. Dave's gonna be watching this like 5 years from now, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, hey."
He's gonna like look back to the archives.
Yeah.
Episode 3. Whoa.
Yeah. College degrees. I have one of those. But yes. So they're not necessary. That's the bottom line. Stop acting like you have to, because you don't. Do you have anything to add to that? I'm trying to think of something. I know I have more stuff, but
Oh, I know we have more stuff, but
well,
honestly, we'll probably cut it, and I'm sure we will talk about college, whether it's the degree thing, whether it's some other aspect. We'll talk about college and college life again. We will. It's guaranteed.
Do you have a time over there? What are we doing on time? Does it
40
tell you?
minutes.
40. Shit, really?
Minutes. Let's do it. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's wrap it up. Hey, follow us on social. My name is Justin, but my social names are at JustinRP56 on Instagram, at JustinRP56 on Facebook, at JJustinRP on Twitter, and JustinRP.com you can go to and find everything else.
All right.
Gerard's.
Mine are at Gerard Mirabelli on Instagram, and I'm sure you can find my name somewhere. If you look in the description of this stuff, you'll be able to find my name, and just type it into Instagram, and it should kind of pop up, maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried it before. But Gerard Mirabelli on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Art of Gerard Mirabelli, I believe. Yes. And you can also find me on ArtStation if you're an artist and you also like ArtStation. You can find me on ArtStation at just my name, Gerard Mirabelli, and that's pretty much it for
yes.
me.
So that is all of that stuff. If you are watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you're listening to this on any podcasting platform in the audio only version, like if you can, subscribe, all that magical stuff.
Share, and even also comment, talk to us about what you think about this
episode. Send us feedback, send us
and
emails.
Other episodes too. Yeah,
get mad at us. Tell us why we're wrong about everything.
Or tell us why we're right. We might like that too.
Yes.
We actually probably do like hearing that.
I like hearing that. But that usually doesn't stir up a whole lot of fun. It's usually the people that tell us we're wrong. But yes, I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting. So, subscribe to us on stuff. Follow us on stuff. Like us on stuff. Comment on stuff. Be social. That's a wrap.
All right. And see you guys next time. Bye-bye.